Sri Matre Namaha, Sri Rama Raksha, Sarva Jagat Raksha. Before getting into the topic, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you motivate us in bringing out this sacred content to you all. Today, I'm going to talk about my journey with Lalita Sahasranamam. I have already made some videos about Goddess Lalita Tripura Sundari and my journey with Lalita Sahasranamam. If you're interested in these topics, you can listen to them. Okay, so in this journey is definitely not an easy journey, because in this journey of connecting with the goddess, in this journey of getting started with the Lalita Sahasranamam itself gave me so many obstacles. So I'll say, and to be honest with you, that this journey was not at all an easy journey, because it the prakriti in the form of Maya created so much Maya around me. And after listening to this, why I am making this, because there are so many myths about the goddess, and there's so many myths about what you should do and what you should not. There are so many do's and don'ts which people will tell. Okay, so don't trust whatever you are listening to and whatever people are telling about these kind of spiritual concepts, or the things about the goddess, or things about Lalita Sahasranamam. So always listen to your intuition. As I told you before, it wasn't an easy journey, it was really difficult. My journey with Lalita Sahasranamam itself was very on and off kind of a journey. In my one of my videos where I talked about how Lalita Sahasranamam entered my life, it did enter my life, but then it also entered with so many tests, triggers, and so much of manipulation, illusion, confusion, so many doubts, and so much of what is happening kind of feelings, and so many obstacles. Really, to be honest with you, all these things happened, and it actually is my real experience, and I actually faced all these things in my journey of connecting with the goddess, and in my journey of Lalita Sahasranamam, getting started with the Lalita Sahasranamam, because really it was like so much hectic. 5 years back, I told you, like even though since childhood on and off I was listening to this song, and I did not know that it was Lalita Sahasranamam. But then 5 years back, I clearly understood that this is Lalita Sahasranamam and this is what it is. I was completely sure about that. This was a song which was like always happening in my life, and it was always coming on and off in my life. I'm sorry because I'm mentioning it as a song, because at that time I was a kid, I was a school going kid, and I only thought that that was a song. So because how a school going kid will be, and they don't know about the Sahasranamams and sutras, they just take it so casually. So I also took it like a casually. This Sahasranamam came in on and off, and I just thought that it's some devotional song, goddess song. That's it, that's all. I had like no knowledge about it, so I just labeled it as a song as a kid. Okay, so as a kid I was like, oh, okay, this song was very nice, this song, it feels so good whenever I listen to this. So it was like on and off, and I never like continuously listened to it, or I was never was interested to know about what that was. I was never, it was like coincidentally happening in the background, and I was just witnessing it, and I was just experiencing it. But for the first time, when I actually wanted to know that what that was which I listened to in my childhood, what that was which was always happening in the backgrounds, and which was always happening in my life, has a synchronicity again and again, I wanted to know what that was actually is. So then 5 years back I figured out that yeah, this is something, that song which I always encounter in my life, that song which always happened to me as a synchronicity. Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps now. So that Sahasranama, which I named it as a song, which always happened to me again and again, which was always coming into my life again and again, synchronistically, coincidentally. Okay, for the first time I wanted to know what that actually was 5 years back. Okay, 5 years back, then I figured out that yeah, this is Lalita Sahasranamam. Yes, this is doing some kind of a thing onto me, and that day I experienced that I was like sleeping peacefully without insomnia. So for some time my insomnia got, that day when I woke up with a fresh energized mood, kind of a very refreshed mood kind of a thing, then I started to No, how should I do this? What can I do this? I wanted to know what this actually is and how this is helping me, and how who is this goddess Lalitha Sundari, because I know her but I don't know her. It's like I know her that we have temples, like we have Rajarajeshwari temple, we have Mahakali temple, we have Parvati temple. We go to those temples, we only know their name, but we are just limited to knowing their name, or we are just limited to going to temples, or we are just limited to lighting that diya or lamp. We are just limited to playing some devotional song. That's it. We are just limited to only that limited knowledge. We don't know beyond that. We were maybe not interested in all these things before, or maybe suddenly we encountered all these things, and now we want to know what this actually is and how it is influencing you, and what kind of mechanisms it does to your brain. Because what antidepressants cannot do, this was doing perfectly. So I wanted to know, as a medical professional, I wanted to know how this is working. I wanted to know the science behind it. I wanted to go deep into. I'm always like a research minded kind of a person. So wanted to understand the science behind it. I wanted to understand how this is helping me out. I wanted to understand how this can help me more. I wanted to know the mechanism of it. I wanted to know and understand how this was working out, and why I did not figure this out early on in my life. If I did figure it out early on in my life would have been really very, very different. And why I did not take it seriously, and why I had to suffer all those sufferings, and why I had to end up in such a stressful situation, and why I had to end up getting those suicidal thoughts, or why I had to end up in that clinical depression, and why I had to take on those antidepressants. I was like having so many questions. We have such a beautiful treasure here. Why I did not utilize that? Why I did not utilize this beautiful treasure, this beautiful tool which our rishis gave us. So I wanted to know and understand everything about it now. So 5 years back, I was now for the first time after that night. If you want to listen to how it entered my life, I talked about that night and what happened, how I felt like stressful, and how I listened to it. And you can listen to that entire story in that video, where I talked about how Lalita Sahasranamam entered my life. Okay, so in that you'll get more details. So that day, for the first time, I was like, consciously I wanted to understand it. I wanted to do something for myself. I did not have any more thoughts than getting out of that depression first. Because if you have, like, for example, if you have so many problems in your life, but still if you have the sharp stomach pain, all your focus will go into that stomach pain only. You will not think about eating food, you will not think about studying, you will not think about going to college, you will not think about going to school, you will not think about any damn thing in your life. Because now, first of all, you have a sharp stomach pain, and first you need treatment for that stomach pain. In that moment, in that present situation, you'll only think about that stomach pain, right? So my condition was like that only. In that situation, in that very hopeless situation, I was only thinking about how can I get out of that depression, and what all can help me. I was trying everything. The antidepressants, I took antidepressants. The healthy food, I'm already a doctor. I always eat healthy food. Okay, so I always eat healthy food. I exercise. I always do exercise. I always make put myself in such a fit condition. I always work out. I always go to work out, and I've been working out since years. Okay, I will always go to work. I always concentrate and focus on eating healthy. So I was already doing all these things, but still I ended up in such a situation. Means, what about other people? So I was like, what should I do now? So I was all thinking, there were so many things which were running in my mind. So then what happened is, like, I thought that first I should get out of this depression, then I'll understand what is actually happening. Okay, so at that point in my situation, according to my situation, the most important thing for me was to get out of those suicidal thoughts and get out of that depression. Okay, so what I used to do is and also I was not into any kind of spiritual practices. Neither my family was into any kind of spiritual practices. We are like some very normal kind of a family, and nobody knows about the Lalita Sahasranamam and all these stuffs, and nobody actually did help me out because about this stuff. Because if somebody had already known this, and if they tell me about this, it might be really helpful for me, and it might have been very useful for me. But for me, I had to figure out everything by myself. So my condition was like that, and I couldn't ask anybody out about this Lalita Sahasranamam. I couldn't ask anybody about how I can connect with the spirituality, or how I can connect with the god or goddess, so that I can heal myself, because I was a doctor. Okay, if I talk about all these things to other people, it first of all, I used to feel awkward about talking about all these things to people, because my situation was like that. I was very logical kind of person. You know how doctors will be, so you know how people from the science background will be. So I never talked about such things to any person or people. So suddenly, if I start talking like this to people, they might think that I am weird. So my entire circle, my entire situations, circumstances in my life, and did not even allow me to talk about these things, these topics, which are very, very important for me, which are very, very important for all of us. I was like feeling very ashamed of talking about all these things in that situation. And I feel really pity that we are in that situation, that we can't even talk about some deep, esoteric, some very highly valuable spiritual concepts and topics. We are not even, we cannot even discuss about those things openly with our peers, with our friends, or with our circle, because it's like it became like a taboo that, okay, if you are discussing something like this, you are like, some people will think that you are a weirdo. Okay, so we are in that generation where so much, or we give importance to all kinds of nonsense, all kind of things which are trending in the social media. But whatever which was important to our soul, whatever which is important to our own soul, whatever which is important to our core, our soul, we forgot about all those things. And if we talk about all those things, if we are trying to do at least connect with that, with the little bit of knowledge which we have, people will around us will make us feel weird, and we will feel like, okay, these people are making us feel weird, and we'll stop doing all those things. So I was in that situation where I can't even speak about all these things to people. So I was like, okay, let it be. I'll just do the things myself. I'll just figure it out by myself. Okay, so I did not even have any external help. I did not even have somebody with whom I can discuss about all these things. So I just I was all alone in this journey with no help from the external. I was always like thinking that I have to figure it out myself, because I have no external help. I don't have anyone whom I can ask for help. Okay, I was also going through Kundalini awakening. For that also, I did not know any person outside, any guru. I did not believe in all these gurus or spiritual teachers or practices. I did not even like that. First of all, in that situation 5 years back, that my mentality at that time was like that. So you don't feel bad if I say something like this, because my mentality, I'm talking about my mentality 5 years back, where I was completely unaware of the spiritual realm, where I was completely not into any kind of spiritual practices, where I was not into spiritual journey or ascension journey. Now I'm a different person, so you can't judge me based on what I felt 5 years back, right? So I was just wanted to make it clear. Okay, so during that time, when 5 years back, I was like, whom to go, who should I ask, what should I do? I was completely clueless and hopeless, and I I had like internet. Okay, I have only YouTube, and at that time, like, it's all lockdown, and I can't even even whatever in the normal situation, at least you can do something. But that was a very difficult situation for the entire world. So it is like a ultra weird situation, ultra awkward situation, ultra very rare kind of situations, where I had to, like, now what should I do? I can only take the help of the internet. Okay, so in the internet I started knowing about Lalita Sahasranamam, etc. So the feeling I got from the Lalita Sahasranamam was very, very different from what people talk about Lalita Sahasranamam on various media platforms or some YouTube channel. So why I am making this video is because there is no correct information available. There was no correct information available during that time. 5 years back, I'm talking about. Now you might find you might find more people talking about it. But 5 years back, it was really very difficult. 5 years back, now 5 years later, things will change. Lot of things might have already changed. 5 years back, there was not much information about it. There were no people talking about it. There are hardly any some channels, and in that channels also, there was some, that is also not like a blogging channel or some particular individual channel. It was like a TV channel, something like that. It was like media channel or something. So how those devotional channels will be? So there was one particular kind of a local devotional channel. I don't even remember the name of that channel. There was one woman there, and she was speaking in our local language, and I just searched what is this Lalita Sahasranamam, how should we go about it, and what is the science behind it. I wanted to know. I was like very curious and interested, like how I can heal myself, how I can get out of this depression, how I can use Lalita Sahasranamam as a tool, how I can how I was like having so many questions, how if can it solve my problems. Like first question we will face in our life whenever we want to do any spiritual practices, can it solve our problem? Like okay, so accept it, it's okay. Like even it's we are living in the 3D, right? We all have our desires, we all want our problems to go, we don't want our obstacles, right? So first, whatever practices we are doing, whatever which we want to do, we want some benefit out of it, right? So I was also thinking like that way, because we are thinking with that consciousness. There is nothing wrong in thinking like that, but it's okay based on your consciousness, based on how much spiritual growth you have. Okay, if you become advanced in your spiritual journey, then your mentality will change, and all these things will change, and you benefits and no benefits, it doesn't matter for you. As of now, in the situation where I am in, I like before I used to think that how can it solve my problem, will it solve my problem or not, or how can it remove my obstacles, and if something is not removing my obstacles, then I used to think that it is not working out, something like that. Okay, so I used to think that way, but now my mentality has changed completely, because now I understood the science behind it, the concepts behind it, I understood the mechanisms of it. Now I can tell you the mechanisms of it, now I can share about those mechanisms and science behind it. And if you want to know the science behind it, you can hit that notification bell, like, share and subscribe. Okay, so I hardly found any authentic information about the spiritual things, or the concepts, or the spiritual concepts, or the god, or about the goddess, or the god. So that's why I felt like during my time I did not have any help, I did not find something which is very useful. So I thought that why not I create that, why not I give out which I did not find, why not I share out which I was looking for during my own journey. So that's how I started sharing things out on my YouTube channel. That's how I started to make this YouTube channel, and I started to share things out, whatever I'm experiencing. Because my time, when I was trying to understand myself, when I was trying to understand and figure out these different kind of spiritual experiences which are happening with me, where I was trying to figure out what kind of things can help me or cannot help me, or how should I proceed, how should I go for it. I did not have any, when I did not have any clue, I did not find actually any external help mostly. So whatever help which came, it came in the form of synchronicities from the nature or from the goddess or god, very little help. But most of the people are like manipulative people only. Most of the people, they are like here to deviate you from your path. So that's how. And there was a media channel where there was a woman, how they will, in some devotional channels, maybe you have watched it in TV, there'll be some lady or some man, they'll be they'll be guiding you about the god or the divine or some astrology, or they'll talk about some devotional class, something like that. Okay, so that lady, what she told was, I was literally in shock when I heard about what she was talking about, the Lalita Sahasranamam. She told that if you pronounce it incorrectly, or if you recite Lalita Sahasranamam without any diksha, or if you listen to Lalita Sahasranamam without any diksha, or if you happen to pronounce it wrongly or something like that, then the Divine Mother will come and she will eat you. Okay, she literally told that. She said that, okay, if you do something wrong, if you do any kind of mistakes, then the Divine Mother will come and she will eat you. She told that, and I was so innocent during that time. I was a student, I was so innocent, and I was, for the first time, I'm doing something very spiritual, and I was very clueless. I was completely in shock. My mental state was more bad. I was already in depression, and when I was listening to all these kind of things, and I wanted some help, and instead of help, I'm getting some fears from the external. So I was more fearful, and she said that. And she was in some devotional YouTube channel, some devotional TV channel. And so, if something like this is coming on the TV, then how your mental state will be, and how that will influence the entire people who are listening to that, or the entire audience, or the people who are watching that, how much impact they are putting onto the collective, by giving out the wrong information, by giving out something which is very distorted. And when she told that, and she was giving her explanation that okay, she is the divine mother, we know, but you know, if you pronounce the mantra correctly, if incorrectly, if you pronounce the words in Lalita Sahasranam correctly, the meaning will change. But she was like, the meaning will be like, you are saying that you know, you are asking the divine mother to come and eat you, and the divine mother will eat you. Yes, she is the divine mother, but then if you, because you have made the mistakes in the Lalita Sahasranam, because the mistake gives you this meaning that she should come and eat you, and then because the mistake is like that, and because you have pronounced it incorrectly, she will come and eat you. That will be the consequence of reading or reciting or listening to Lalita Sahasranama. This is what she told. And when I heard about this, when I listened about this, I was like, my mind was like completely in shock. I became very fearful, because I was in very delicate state that time. I was very clueless, helpless, I was hopeless, and I was in a very critical condition where I was not having any kind of external help. I was myself a doctor. I was treating myself, but still I needed some motivation, some power, some divine help, some guidance for my situation, because my situation was not that good. And in that situation, something like this, if you are listening to something like this, then how fearful you will become. You will become more fearful, and you will lose more hopes onto your life, and you will even leave whatever hope and synchronicity which came in the form of Lalita Sahasranam. You will even leave that. And when I listened to that, I became very fearful, and I was like, okay, I'll not do this. So not even one person was giving me right information when I was looking for the right information about the goddess or the god, or something which from which I can seek motivation, or some spiritual practice if I want to do. I couldn't even do that. So it was like, I was like, what is this? What is happening? And who can help me? I was like finding for help, literally. So and that was over, and I was like, okay, what she's saying, from inside, I was feeling like I cannot believe in this. It is not true. Whatever she is saying is not true. But I don't know. I'm very new to that. So I was like so confused. Now what should I do? So from my inside, my soul is saying that, oh, she is saying something. I shouldn't believe in that. Okay, she is saying something just like that. Okay, she is just putting me in fear. I should not take this into consideration, or should not value it, or I should not take it to heart. But still I was in such a situation, or that fearful stage, where I was very new to it. I didn't know anything about it. I wanted to do it with my full heart and attention, and the nature was giving me help. The nature was providing me help. When there was no human help available, at least nature was helping me. The Divine Mother was helping me. Divine Mother wants to help me, but the people like this, they are just spoiling everything out. They are just taking away even that little ray of hope from me. I was like, I felt like crying. I felt like, what is this? I cannot even get some, kindness, some human help, some human support when I needed it the most. I felt like that. I felt like more lonely in that situation. The Divine Mother always is trying to help me in some of the other situations. She is always wanting me to get out of that depression phase. She is always wanting me to do better in my life, and she is always motivating me to get up and fight for my life. But the situations and the people in my life, they are like, oh my God. I'm not indirectly, the social media I am saying about that. So she's saying like that. And some other person who is very expert in Lalita Sahasranam, she's always talking about Lalita Sahasranam, this old woman, and she's always talking about that, and she's always giving interviews about it. And I thought like, okay, I'll listen to this woman, what she wants to say about Lalita Sahasranam, and I listened to that woman again. So I was like, okay, whatever the other woman in the the different TV channel, she told that she'll come and eat you, the mother will come and eat you. And then I was fearful. Then I thought that, okay, let's leave her, keep her aside, and let's listen to some other opinion. Okay, so that's how I tuned into some other old lady who can actually tell about Lalita Sahasranam. I thought, okay, she's an old lady and she might have more experience. Maybe she is doing so so for so many years. I thought that, okay, she will give some good guidance like that. Then she also told, she did not say something like that scary, like that of the previous woman, but she told something like, okay, you should recite Lalita Sahasranam under somebody's guidance, and you should not do any kind of mistakes. Okay, so if you do some mistakes, and the mistakes the meaning will change. Okay, the meaning will change, and you will have some wrong, like instead of attracting the good, you will attract the bad. She told something like that. So I was like, when I listened to this lady, I felt like, okay, this is something at least little bit convincing. Okay, so rather than the other lady who told like she goddess will come and eat you, what kind of thing is this? I don't understand. I don't know why I, in that situation I accepted that whatever she told. Okay, maybe I was in such a condition where I was like feeling that very negative. Maybe that's why I took that thing, or maybe that's why I attracted that that lady's interview or whatever, the TV channel, whatever it was. Okay, so the next lady who told that, she told like, okay, she also was saying it in a scary way only. She was the way she told, that was also not motivating enough. But then at least she told something like, okay, you have to have these rules, you have to wake up, you have early in the morning, you have to do this puja, that puja, you have to do everything, all the rituals, etc. And then you have to wear clean clothes, and you have to early in the morning 4 o'clock you have to do puja, and you have to then she is saying all the full list. I was like in a very difficult condition. I was like, I can't do all this. I can't do all this, because at least if I'm in a good condition I can try, but I am not at all was in a good condition. I cannot do all kind of those things. Whatever she was saying, yes, she is like technically right, she is like ritualistically right, she is philosophically right, she is culturally right, she is religiously right. But then spiritually I can't do all these things, because I was not in a situation to do all these things, because I was already in depression phase. I was already going through a lot in my life. I was not even having any kind of energy to do anything in life. I was experiencing chronic fatigue. I was going through chronic fatigue since some months. So how can I do all those things? So she said all that list, and also she said that you cannot recite it wrongly, you cannot make a single mistake even in a single word, otherwise the meaning will change. If the meaning changes, then you will have different kind of consequences for your mispronunciation, for your different because you have mispronounced it, you are attracting some bad vibes or something like that, she told. So then I was like, okay, at least whatever she told, it is little bit convincing, maybe yes, the pronunciation should be correct, I agree with that. So I thought, okay, whatever she is saying, I can partially take that, and I can leave the rest. So from here I started using my personal discernment. The previous lady which I took her perception on, I was like, oh my god, from next time I'll not take such kind of perceptions. Okay, when I listened to that first lady, I literally was very in that fear mode, and I postponed listening to Lalita Sahasranamam for some months. Okay, my entire life I did not listen to it, only here and there sometimes in my life. And then suddenly one day I listened to it, and I consciously decided that I will listen to that. And then the next day morning I heard about the Lalita Sahasranamam from this lady, that the goddess will come and eat you and stuff. Then I was like, I was into the fear, and for some months I just paused listening to Lalita Sahasranamam. I took a step back. I was like so fearful during that situation. I was like, oh my god, I don't want more problems. I was already in so many problems. Then I felt like, okay, if I do something like this which I don't know, I don't want to accumulate more problems in my life. I don't want more problems in my life, so I better not listen to that. So I was in that kind of a mindset, and I postponed it for so many months, and I think even for the year. Okay, then again I listened to the second lady which I talked about, where she told that, again I felt like I had curiosity of knowing about Lalita Sahasranamam. Again I have some synchronicity happened. Again I felt like, okay, some problems happened, and again I felt like, why shouldn't I try Lalita Sahasranamam? I should listen to it, etc. I felt that I always get a good feeling when I listen to it. I should listen to it, I should give it a try. Somehow I managed to overcome that fear what that lady gave me, that the perception of that lady gave me. I think it's not her mistakes also, because the way she perceived it, the way she understood it, she shared it. But she shared it in a TV channel, that's a different thing. But yes, she shared it. Okay, but it's her way of understanding it. I took it very personally. I was into that fear, so the mistake was mine. Okay, I cannot judge that lady, or I cannot say anything to that lady, because whatever she wanted to say, she said it. Okay, it's all divine Maya, it's all Lalita Tripura Sundari's Maya only. I feel that way now. Okay, during that period I did not understand. It is a test from the goddess. It is actually a test from the goddess. The goddess will test you. Okay, She will test you. You will only, you will be able to do it only when you're ready for it, only when you're mentally, physically, only when it's your time, okay? And it is a journey, and you, even if you decide to do it, and it might take time, or it might, you might get breaks in between, like I got breaks in between, like I had like so many breaks in between, and there were so many people who came into my life just to manipulate me and just to stop me from listening to Lalita Sahasranamam. Can you imagine? And it really happened in my life, and they just came into my life just to stop me. To recite, to listen to the Lalita Sahasranam, just to stop me in, so that I can't listen to Lalita Sahasranam. They gave some manipulations, they gave some things, some misunderstandings about Lalita Sahasranam. Some TV channel, some YouTube channel, some spiritual person is coming into my life, and they are manipulating me, they are giving me wrong information so that I cannot listen to Lalita Sahasranam. And this is like a divine test, okay? This is the test of the goddess, and I had to go through so many tests in my journey of Lalita Sahasranamam, listening to Lalita Sahasranamam. I did not even recite it. I just wanted to listen to that. Only when I, even if I am deciding that I want to listen to that, but still I am going through so many tests and challenges, see. So all these things are real, and these things will happen into your journey, your life, when you decide to do something which will be really good for you, which will be really good for your own spiritual practices or your own life. When you are about to jump the timeline, when you are about to uplift your consciousness, and when you're about to enhance your life, when you are about to get better at your life, when you are about to do that timeline jump, when you are about to get into the next version of you, the universe will test you like this. Okay, so this happens really. And you what you have to do is you have to stay strong. At that time I did not so many things, I made mistakes, then again I learned from my mistakes, and so many things happened in between. So this is how the nature tests you, this is how the divine test will happen, this is how universe will test you when you are about to get into your next version, when you are about to get into the rebirth phase of your life, when you are about to better your life, when you are about to have happiness in your life. This is how universe will test you. So I'll talk more things about my journey with Lalita Sahasranamam in my coming video. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening. Sri Rama Raksha Sarva Jagat Raksha. Sri Matre Namaha.